Today we'll be presenting you with a presentation we had the opportunity to create a few weeks ago when Dr. Norm and Dean Brown and Peter decided for us to plan our own session and we can discuss our own topics that we were thinking of. And what we came up with was leadership pathways. We believe that as scholars, and to my peers as well, we all arrived at Dickinson through our own path. None of us did the same opportunities. None of us didn't come from the same cities, same towns. We've all had different ways to arrive at this one point. And we'd like to share you our story today. So,
first off, are you the type? Oh, well, my name is Angel. Thank you for being here. Are you the type A leader? First of all, what is a type A leader? Type A leader, people associate type A leader with as people who are leaders of groups, presidents of clubs, someone who always takes initiative, and someone who's always on his or her A game.
The qualities that are usually associated with a stereotypical strong leader are that they're extroverted, they're likable by all, they're good with all people, they're smooth and know how to handle every situation, both effectively and appropriately. They're usually task-oriented, driven, and cutthroat, and they're always articulate, full of knowledge.
Though everyone can embody characteristics that make us these type A leaders, everyone has had different experiences, and that has shaped the type of leader that they are. There's no definite formula for what a leader can be, and everyone's a leader in different ways.
I'd just like to add that other ways of becoming a leader could be being more relationship and community-oriented. You could be more caring and compassionate and see strengths where others see weakness. And you could even be lacking in skills or be put at a disadvantage, but you could still be motivated and resilient, open-minded, and always looking for ways of betterment. And so those are other ways where I see leadership strengths and qualities and ways of being positive contributors. And so how do you quantify these leadership skills, and how does it compare to the traditional norm? We just like to conclude that you don't need to have a title or position to lead, and you just need the persistence to put yourself out there to make a difference. And Dr. Durden spoke to us last night, and he said something along the lines of, you play your part, do what matters to you, and others will notice and genuinely appreciate your sincerity. So.
Okay. Well, I'm Lawrence Holm. As leaders, what did we do to get here? Some of us may have traveled a long way to arrive here. Some of us may be seeking a new challenge, a new environment, a place where we can grow. We are all here to get a quality education and to pursue our aspirations. As men of color, we face many obstacles. We are the minority in this campus. Despite all this, we have the drive to strive to be better individuals. By being here at this institution, we are breaking norms that are associated with our ethnic backgrounds. Not only that, but we are leaders in the classroom as we challenge other people's ideas, as we work our hardest in our academic studies, and as we voice our opinions on issues that bother us in this community. We are here to be role models, a group of men that everyone wants to look up to. Our passion and determination are what have gotten us here today.
Good evening. My name is Nasir Ellis. So, who are your role models? This is important because these people are the people that mold you into the type of leader that you will be. As men, we are traditionally supposed to stand alone and reach our goals on our own. However, that idea is not what me nor my mandatory brothers believe in. We have all been inspired and changed by one another, and therefore we become role models. No one can tell you a success story without telling you who helped and inspired them to get there. Just to give you an example from within our brotherhood, Reese has been a powerful brother, a powerful role model to me. Not only is he inspiring academically, but he also has encouraged me to grow as a person. He is a prime example of a role model and someone who I aspire to be like. Yeah. So, the quote says, when you meet someone better than yourself, Turn your thoughts to becoming his equal. When you meet someone not as good as you are, look within and examine yourself. I, along with my mandatory brothers, have come to the conclusion that if you cross paths with someone that embodies characteristics that you wish to have, then you should try your best to reach that goal. However, if you find yourself looking down upon someone else, then you must stop and ask yourself, who am I to judge another person? I've always been told growing up to remember that I am no better than, or I am no less than.
So, hello everybody, I'm Kyle Green. As you can see, we have an extremely large basket here. What values are there in your basket? I don't know if I have that many values exactly, but I guess what we were trying to convey in this slide is that as you move through life, you have a different set of values for every different stage. So you learn different things throughout your life, and even as students here at Dickinson, we might see our values changing a bit. But these values define us and they're important in our success. So for example, we each came up with a personal credo today that is based upon our values. Certain values that I hold important to myself are hard work and dedication. That's what's gotten me to this point today. And I believe that's gotten all of this class of mandatory here standing in front of you today as well, graduating. So I think it's important that we all recognize that although our values are changing, we have to really hone in on those values and recognize who we are as individuals in order to become successful in the real world and at whatever stage we are in our lives.
Alright, hello everyone, my name is Fabian, and once again, thank you for being here. Speaking on behalf, I feel like my values that I've honed in as a young individual have brought me to where I am today. I am here as a policy scholar, I am here as a Dickinsonian because I have stayed true to myself and the values that I own. I've stayed hardworking, I'm tenacious, I don't give up. And I think those are all qualities that make me the person I am today. Speaking of which, I would like to talk about an aspiration that I hold for myself. After college, I want to create a nonprofit organization that helps students in low-income neighborhoods to find a place where they can come together and feel like they can express themselves through the arts. And in order to do this, I've been working for it. I want to create my own major, and I'm striving to do anything possible to gain the skills necessary for me to achieve this dream of mine. And yeah, thank you.
Alright, so what past experiences have shaped your identity? I'm going to talk about my personal challenges and social stigmas. Growing up, I've always faced a lot of bullying, teasing, what some people call racism, prejudice, and stereotypes. And the general message that it conveyed was usually that I'm lacking, subpar, unequal, and that usually not supposed to make it in this community, in this world. And these are all motivations to me to affect change. Especially in the general view of Asian men, I feel like I have a mission to propagate the general view on Asian men and to challenge popular beliefs, unfair statements that do not fully represent the entire population, stereotypes and strains that are associated with being an Asian male. I want to raise the bar of expectations on Asian men through voice, opinion, and expression. I want to change the norm for Asian men growing up in America, making it both a friendlier and more productive place to live. And so lastly, I just want to say I identify myself as a strong, resilient young man who is determined to promote the betterment of all the communities in which I'm a part of. Thank you.
One question we asked each other was, after instigating this conversation of thought and how we were leaders, that were we lacking anything? Were we lacking certain skills that I found out that Fabian or Kyle had? Or did I offer something that we could all learn from each other? And so when we posed the question, what do we lack, we asked ourselves, how can we grow? What is something we need to adjust? What do we need to fix? Because we're not all perfect. There's always something to change, there's always something to adapt and grow to, and there's always an experience to embrace. And that's something we wanted to accomplish.
Right. Talk about this slide. We now have an extra set of tools to help us achieve our dreams. The odds are against us, but the stereotypes that people have of us do not define us. We we are the exception. And through our hard work, we will all make a big impact in our respective journeys. And I conclude with this quote: be the change that you want to see in the world. Amagami.
One last, to officially close, the bottom quote is, "Don't let the noise of others drown out your own inner voice." It was a quote by Steve Jobs in 2005 at the Stanford commencement address. And I recently heard this quote beginning of the year, and it's really spoken to me, and I think it's spoken to this group to remind us that we do have preconceived notions about our identities and ourselves, but that does not control